Welcome and happy Tuesday. You are live with It's All About Choices, a nutrition, fitness, weight management academy with a holistic approach, where you make the decision to take action regarding your weight and your health goals, and I guide you through the best choices for you. And so today, I have the pleasure of dishing out our weekly nutrition and wellness news for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and I hope your day is going well so far. And so, for those who are tuning in live with me, I thank you for tuning in, taking a little break, hopefully eating some lunch, relaxing a little bit just to take in some news that will help move you forward. And for those listening to the replay, thank you for taking time out to listen in and to tune in and just to grab a little bit of information as well. And so while people are tuning in, if you will please just chime in and say hello to me. Let me know where you're tuning in from, how the weather is, and I am going to get my windows together so that when you all comment, I'm able to see your comments. I'm able to say hello to you. So I love for these sessions to go interactively, and so it's a two-way conversation. So definitely chime in. Do not hesitate to chime in. All righty, let me see if I can mute one more window and then we are good to go. There we go. So now we are all set up. And so today we are going to we're continuing about favorite topics. And this month is about engaging and talking about topics that you found most beneficial and had the most chime in. And so I wanted to bring those back, those popular ones. And so today we're talking about 100% fruit juice. And does it hinder weight loss? Does it promote weight loss? Is it good for health overall? And so my questions that I want you to think about as we're going through this little short training is, does juice have too much added sugar? What do you think about that? Does juice cause weight gain? Is 100% juice one of the reasons behind, well, it definitely is one of the reasons behind the obesity epidemic, the responsibility for heart disease, and certain kinds of cancers. However, there's a lot that goes into that as well. So are the concerns about the sugar overshadowing the fruit juice's positive contributions to a healthy diet? Or is 100% fruit juice just another sugary drink? So it's a lot of questions that are out there about 100% fruit juice. So what are your thoughts? Feel free to kind of just chime in there. What's your take when you hear fruit juice? Like, how does that resonate with you? How does that sit with you? And so today we're gonna talk about that, and I will debunk some of the common misinformation and some of the confusion about juice, and it will surprise you. It will surprise you. And so, for those who don't know me, my name is Sandra Goltry, and I am a registered dietitian, and I serve as accountability partners for my clients and to you as well. And my goal is simply to help you to achieve your weight, your health, your eating goals, your life goals, and that you feel good about that, and that you feel good about the decisions and the choices that you make, and that you enjoy yourself in the process. And so that's my mission for each one of you. And in 2022, you're going to hear me talking a lot about breaking those food strongholds, okay? Because we have a lot of them, especially when they're tied to dieting and just the mindset of dieting and restricting. And so definitely chime in, introduce yourself, say hello to me, and I will check for comments and feedback. And we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun and learn in the process. And so we're talking about 100% fruit juice. Does it hinder or promote weight loss? And does it promote good health? Okay. And so my first question is, and just simply say avoid or drink. So do you just off the cuff just kind of have a general rule for yourself that you avoid drinking juice? Okay. And I'm specifically speaking of 100% juice. And I'm going to let you know in a minute why I'm saying that specifically, because it is a difference. It is a difference. And so just kind of chime in, avoid or drink if you include that in your eating pattern. It doesn't have to occur every day, but if you do include it. All right, and so let's talk about that. And while I'm waiting on comments, let's talk about the backstory. Okay, let me see. I see a few chiming in. Let me see here. Hello, Monique. Nice to see you. You drink it. Awesome, 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 awesome. She has a little insight on it. She's worked with me, so she has a little insight on it. So, and so, what is the backstory on added sugar? Okay, so the truth is, natural sugars are found in nutrient-rich foods and in food groups such as your dairy, your vegetable, your fruit, all of which are key components for overall eating. in healthy eating. Added sugar ranges from the also controversial terms like high fructose corn syrup, which is a fancy way of saying added sugar, but to more than 60 other ingredients and nutrition information that's on the label is introduced into foods and in beverages by manufacturers during the processing, okay, or by consumers during the cooking process. And so added sugars account for about 16% of the total calories in the American diet. And so diets that are high in added sugars, and it may lead to weight gain and hypertension or high blood pressure, chronic inflammation, elevated cholesterol, specifically your triglycerides and your LDLs, which I term that as the lousy cholesterol. But also note that simply overeating any type of food will have the same effect. Okay, so the juice or 100% all that's no different. Any food can cause those same effects if it's done in excess. So added sugars such as sweetened beverages like your soda, your energy drinks, your sports drinks, your sweetened fruit drinks or those fruit blends, they offer very little satiety, right? And very little nutritional value. Specifically, sport drinks, they offer benefits to professional and competitive athletes, but that's outside of the scope of this training here. And so you got to be careful with that because a lot of times that the active individual drink those same drinks, but they're not really working out enough to really warrant needing those extra calories and et cetera. And so my next question for you is, what is your favorite sweetened beverage drink? Okay, so is it soda? Is it the non 100% fruit juice? So those are your fruit blends or some of the things that you see termed light, things of that nature, diet drinks, non-alcoholic or alcoholic beverages, or other, or if there's something else. Okay, so which one is your favorite beverage, sweetened beverage that you like to drink? And I'm gonna look for some comments. See here. Okay, we have Krista online. She avoids the juice. And share why you avoid it, because it's always everybody always has different reasons why they avoid them. So I always like to know. It's always a learning experience. Me personally, I prefer to eat my calories rather than drink them in most cases. So but I do include 100% fruit juice, such as like coconut water or orange juice. And I also do the low sodium BA juice. And I primarily do that for potassium because it's a high content of potassium, and it helps me with managing my blood pressure. So those are the reasons why I do this. So there's reasons for a lot of different things. So just kind of post what your favorite sugar sweetened beverage is, okay? And we will keep it rolling, keep it rolling. I'm gonna look for some comments. Let's see here. We got juice on here. We have ginger ale, Canada Dry. I was never a big soda drinker, but when I did drink it, I'd probably pick one of the worst ones. I did the Mountain Dew and things of that nature. So every blue moon, but I really was not a big soda drinker growing up. But every now and then I have one. And so here is the deal. Here is the deal. Well, actually, did I skip a question? I think I skipped one. So I wanted to know if you were surprised, actually, if you are surprised that to hear that actually, you know what? I did skip one. So let me back up. So here's the deal with 100% fruit juice. So the key is you want to see 100% on the label. So I'm going to speak to the parents because I have a young child too. And so when you're not when it's the marketing and sometimes misinformation or skewed information, we will buy the kids, the honest or something that's light, or it's promoted as it has 50% less sugar and things of that nature. Honestly, you want the 100% fruit juice because you want the nutrients. When you start talking about fruit blends and the honest and all these other things that are supposed to have lower added sugar, things of that nature, it's pulling away the nutrients. And so fruit juice, 100% fruit juice, it has the nutrients. So you want your child to have that. Now, what you do want to watch out for is how much of it they're drinking. You want to limit it depending on the age, maybe 4 to 6 ounces. So I'm talking about the younger kids. You want to limit it, but if you're throwing a party, opt for the 100% Capri Suns instead of the regular ones, but you have to hunt for them, unfortunately, but they do exist. And so 100% fruit juice means it is no added sugar. That's the key. And it's very plain on the front of the label. 100% fruit juice contains the same amount of sugar as the whole fruit counterpart. So if you're drinking apple juice, for that 4 ounces is the same as, or 4 to 6 ounces is the same amount of sugar as a small, maybe mid-sized apple. Same with grapes. The grape juice is the same as, maybe, 3 ounces, or I don't want to say a handful of grapes because everybody's hand size is big, is different. But a serving of grapes is the same amount of sugar because it's natural. So when you look at the label, you should only see the fruit in the juice. You may see ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, depending on the juice, but you shouldn't see all these code words for sugar. And a lot of times when it's light and when it's diet and when it's 50% reduced, then all they're adding is artificial sugar. So they're adding something to it. And you're losing the nutrients in the process. So you want to be careful. So when the bottle would read, you will see it contains 100% fruit juice. Anything less than that, whether it's 16%, 52%, anything less than that is not 100% fruit juice. And it's going to have other processing. We talked about processed foods last week. It's going to have a higher level of processing going on than the 100%. So you want to pay attention to that when you are out trying to look for juice and you want to find something that's healthier. And so, as I stated, though, overeating any food will contribute to weight gain. So a lot of times people put a lot of emphasis on, especially I hear this a lot when I'm on the phone with people about, oh, I don't drink juice because the added sugar and things of that, but it's not that cut and dry, okay? And so the same is true with overeating. Many people drink their calories, and it may not come in the form of juice. It may come in the form of other alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages, but still the calories are there. And so the problem is not the 100% fruit juice. The problem is drinking too much of it. Okay, so I say 4 to 6 ounces is roughly equivalent to the whole fruit. Now you do lose the fiber. That's the one thing you lose is the fiber, because the fiber is usually in the skin. So unless you're juicing at home and you're putting the whole fruit in there, you will lose the fiber. But that's really a small thing. If you are eating adequately and balanced throughout the day, you can get fruit from or get your fiber from other places, because sometimes the juice may be your only option. So it is a great option versus soda or a juice blend or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. And so the problem is most people will drink 16 to 24 ounces of the juice, and then they're not really eating. They're not really eating anything that's nutrient dense. So it just compounds. And then if they are eating, they're eating something that's high in fat, high in calories, and low in nutrients. So those are the other pieces that of the equation that you don't hear about. So it's not just cut and dry with the juice in that regard. And so my question to you now, are you surprised? Now I can ask this question. Are you surprised to hear that 100% fruit juice has 0 added sugar? Because I hear this a lot. Oh, I don't drink the juice because of the added sugar, or it's too much sugar. So does that surprise you to hear that it's not quite that cut and dry? And let's see here. Yes, Krista agrees. She likes to eat my calories and not drink them. I do. I do. 100% cranberry juice. That's an awesome one. That is definitely an awesome one. That's good for your digestive tract as well. So yes, that's a good one. And I only drink water and juice that is made from fruit and veggies. So again, it's 100%. So when it's store-bought, you'll see 100% vegetable juice. You'll see 100% fruit juice. So those are great options. Exactly. And it's sometimes you just don't have time to juice. Sometimes you don't have time to buy all that stuff. So don't ever think that getting the store-bought one is not an option when needed. And especially if you're eating out, or if you're in hotels and you're at a continental breakfast and things of that nature, they may not always have fresh fruit. So orange juice is a great option, things of that nature. Any type of 100% juice is a great option to get some form of a veggie in under those circumstances. Okay, so hopefully you found that helpful. I hear some people are saying that they were surprised, and it definitely is a shocker. It's a very, very common, myth out there that 100% fruit juice is just this bad thing. But again, it's a lot more to the story. And so the 4 juice myths debunked. So that's what we're going to talk about. So these are some of the major common myths that I hear about, or not just myself, but that's out there, that gets a lot of attention. And so people, why would you not believe it since it gets a lot of attention? And so misinformation and confusion have fostered many, many myths about juice. And so here are 4 scientific-based research debunking some of the most common misconceptions around juice. And so number 1, drum roll, please. Number 1 is it contains empty calories. Okay. So the fact juice is healthy, it is nutrient dense. It's a nutrient dense beverage that delivers a significant amount of nutrients in the diet for both children and adults. And so I like to use oranges and orange juice as a perfect example. Since I have high blood pressure, I pay attention to potassium a lot. And so, and so the orange juice, for the 4 to 6 ounces of the orange juice, has more potassium than the orange itself. Now, does that make the orange inferior? Of course not. But it just, and sometimes this, a different form of the same food will give you more nutrients or less nutrients or different nutrients. It just kind of depends. And so that's why it's good to have a variety. Now, I do recommend having more of your fruit servings in a day come from the whole. So you don't want to have, if you're eating 3 servings a day, you don't want to, do two servings from juice and your whole fruit all the time. So just one is enough, just to kind of get that balance and to get that mix. And so you have the combination of the fruit and the juice, then it just makes things more well-rounded. You get more nutrients in your body. So that's a good example I like to use. And 100% fruit juice is nutritionally similar to the fruit in a squeezed form. So again, like I said, if it's store-bought, you will lose the fiber. So you're going to have high vitamin C, you're going to have high vitamin A, and depending on the fruit, high potassium and folic and B1, and then you have your fortified juices like orange juice. So I always opt for those where it's fortified with some calcium and, well, actually quite a bit of calcium and some vitamin D. So you get some vitamin D, but you still need to get vitamin D from other sources as well. And so some may not know that 100% fruit juices are beneficial plant compounds and known as bioactives. And so studies have shown that bioactives found in fruit and fruit juices have the potential to positively impact humans in many, many ways, such as protecting their heart health, preserving cognitive function, aiding in exercise performance. Sometimes I do recommend, have some juice before your workout because it's easily digestible, give you that quick energy that you need to get through your workout. Preventing urinary tract infections. So that's where cranberry juice is very helpful for that one to be, somewhat proactive. All right. So if you want to have any comments or questions on that, feel free to chime in. I'm going to look and I'm going to keep it rolling. So just feel free to make any comments. So myth number two is it's better to avoid juice, 100% juice, and just eat the whole fruit. So no doubt that eating fruit is important for our overall health, right? And however, the fruit consumption remains low. I mean, 75% of all Americans do not get enough fruit in throughout their day. And so increasing the fruit intake with whole fruit only, it will increase your fiber. But the combination of one part juice, maybe two, like I was speaking earlier, and 2 parts of the whole fruit, it provides a greater benefit and a greater beneficial effect on vitamin C, your potassium levels, calcium levels, than just the whole fruit alone. So it's good to have a combination of the two. That's why I was saying it definitely is a good combination. And this demonstrates that this combination of fruit juice and juice has a better nutrient profile than just the fruit itself. So they work together collectively. So you don't want to opt for one and not the other. You want to combine. And so research shows that children who drink 100% fruit juice tend to eat more of the whole fruit and have a better quality of diets than those who don't drink 100% fruit juice. So think about that. So I always encourage my clients that have young kids to go for the 100% because I hear them doing a lot of the diet ones, the light ones, but not realizing, of course, that it's better to go with the 100%. So this suggests that 100% fruit juice complements rather than competes with fruit for the diet. Okay, so again, those parents, 100% Capri Sun, it does exist. It does exist. Sometimes it's hard to find, but it does exist. So just always look for something that's 100% when you're having those parties. Okay. All right. Number 3, let's debunk juice myth. The third juice myth. So drinking juice is harmful for your health. Okay. So if you've ever heard that one, so drinking 100% fruit juice does not increase the risk of chronic disease. Okay. So studies are revealing that there's no significant association between juice and weight gain in children or adults. And they conclude that there's really no adverse health effects where it's found to be associated with juice consumption, 100% juice consumption when it's related to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, sugar levels being balanced. We call that glucose homeostasis, lipid levels and liver enzymes, and blood sugar. Okay, blood pressure. I'm sorry, blood pressure. And so it's again, it's the overall eating patterns, not just the juice. Just like sweets does not give you diabetes. I mean, that alone does not give you diabetes, but that's been kind of something that you hear that's been passed down from generation to generation. So it's a whole lot more that goes into the equation that leads to those health complications. Okay. And then myth number four, juice, drinking juice causes dental caries in children. And I'll also put a little side plug in about the kids too. A lot of times, a lot of parents will think that drinking juice causes your kids to go hyper and go crazy and bounce off the walls. And so if you feel that way or you ever felt that way, go ahead and say, yeah, I believe that, and be honest about it. It does not. It does not. It that your child was just hyper. My child is just hyper. It's just their natural demeanor. So the 100% fruit juice is not doing it. The sugar and the cupcakes is not doing it. That's just who they are. Because I have one too. So I'm talking about mine too. And so it causes dental caries in children. So we don't hear this one as much as we used to. We hear more about them being hyper. But the fact is, despite recommendations by dental professionals to avoid juice consumption in order to prevent dental caries in young children, there's really no scientific evidence that drinking 100% fruit juice in inappropriate amounts, that's key, causes dental caries any more than any other food. So basically, at the end of the day, you need to brush your teeth, right? And so you build those healthy habits. Have your children brush their teeth after those main meals when they're not at school and things like that. And of course, brushing your teeth before you go to bed and flossing. So those are the things that prevents the dental caries. And so at the end of the day, it's just proper dental hygiene is what's going to control that. And so, a side note, while parents, and I had mentioned about the about the hyperness as well. So just wanted to give that little plug in because I have a now 8-year-old. He just turned 8, so I get it. So I'm just looking for comments, and so we're good to go. And so, as a summary, 100% fruit juice has its place in a healthy eating pattern that is packed with nutrient dense whole foods. Okay, so that doesn't mean you can't ever have any fun foods, but basically the 80-20 rule. If you are truly building healthier eating habits and truly know what that means and what it doesn't mean, then you're doing good. And so you want to balance your fruit intake from both whole fruit and from 100% fruit juice. And this helps many, many people meet their daily servings of fruit. Okay. Because if I have clients who like, a lot of people just don't like fruit. They just do not like the whole fruit, but they will do the juice. And so therefore we focus on getting the fiber from other places, which is very, very possible and very, very doable. So that's why it's important to eat around the plate. And so if you are intrigued by today's information, or if you found, hopefully you all got a lot of aha moments, but yet in a good way, and maybe you'll look at juice a little bit differently, or at least decide to purchase some. You never know. 4 to 6 ounces, remember, it's around equivalent to a fruit serving. So proficient food knowledge is essential. Okay, so gain access to a wealth of knowledge. You visit my website. Okay, I have a blog page, so definitely take advantage of that because I post a lot of my lives on the blog page, so you can get like a good snippet of what I talked about, and you can stay in tune. And I'm gonna post this in the chat so you guys can click on it because I know you guys can't actually click on that, but definitely check it out. Go to the blog, and every week is something new out there. Okay, and you have the opportunity to join my mailing list as well. So the newsletter goes into a little bit more detail than of course a blog will. So there's just ways for you to get connected where you can get information readily accessible in addition to the weekly live. All right, and so thank you for tuning in with me live with It's All About Choices, a nutrition, weight loss, and fitness academy where I take a holistic approach. And so step into your highest level of health so that you can have more energy and just feel good, just feel better. That's really what it's all about. And so building healthier habits is the magic key to weight loss, and not just losing the weight, keeping it off, as well as your overall total body wellness. So we're breaking those food strongholds in 2022. And next week, I'm excited. We're going to have a live guest for Up Close and Personal. And we are featuring Miss Tracy Jackson. And her testimonial story is about how she lost 40 pounds without gaining weight, how she finally lost 40 pounds without gaining weight, despite years of extreme dieting that led to hormonal imbalances, nutritional deficiencies. She had high sugar levels, cholesterol levels, and she was put on meds for anxiety as a kind of a end of a long road of extreme dieting. So definitely tune in. Her story is breathtaking. It is real. And I know that it will definitely help others out there. So I'm really excited to next week's live. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye for now and be blessed.